So I was just talking about the bed. When I renovated the van, we made the new bed out of aluminium, 2x1 inch aluminium, rectangular tube, and Celotex insulation boards with a vapour barrier, and then with these wooden slats that then keeps the mattress off the base and lets air flow through, so you don't get any mould or any kind of nasties growing. When I renovated this space, I put 2 reading lamps. There's one there with a switch and one on this side with gooseneck. The carpet is all new on both sides and it goes back to here. I strengthened the roof using these aluminium 2x1 again. There's one there and there's one in the front. Above here is the large solar panel, which is supported by the struts and by these cupboards as well. You'll notice that the 3 vents that I said outside are all new, so it looks like a new van with the new vents, blackout and mosquito net. And you open it just by the pull. I can't do it with one hand from down here because that's right up there, but you basically pull that, push it, and it opens up, and it will open to 90 degrees, so it lets great airflow come through. There's a bit of space on top of those cupboards for nice light things. There are 3 cupboards for the kitchen, 3 cupboards for the wardrobe section. Just going back to the beds, so there's a big double up here, and this makes into a smaller double. The table folds down. I've renewed the aluminium that it sits on, so it's nice and strong, and that falls down, and the seats go like as per usual. What's different about this is if we just get under this seat here, is that this has a really good safe. I don't know how many times I've read accounts of people you know, making YouTube videos, and they've had the laptops pinched, the cameras pinched, the phones pinched. Well, this safe here, you can see it's approximately 18 inches by 14 inches by 14 inches deep, so it's big enough to get laptops, drones, whatever in there, and it's a triple lock device, so no one is going to get into that. So that's really useful. I thought it was worth putting in this space, and you've got a bit of space at the back there for bottles or stuff or whatever you want to put in there. So that for me is a big selling point about the van. Just one of the many, actually. So that simply goes back there. Like I say, that makes to a double. Under this is the water tank. While we're moving down the van, this is the control panel for the 12 volt stuff. So you've got your lights, you've got an auxiliary circuit that nothing's on that. You've got the water pump, and then you've got the main on and off. So if I turn this one, I'm turning basically all the electrics off, which you might do when you leave the van, say. Otherwise, if you wanted to leave the courtesy light on that I mentioned, you could leave the lights on and just turn the pump off, and then know that the water's going to be safe if you have a problem. You test the voltage by simply pressing the light. You can see that here we're 3/4 full on the water. So this has got 2 battery setups on this van. the little solar power, the little solar panel on the top comes down to this controller, and this controller then charges the two batteries that are under the passenger side, the passenger seat here. So you've got two batteries under there. You've also got to the side here what's called a DC to DC charger. So when the ignition is turned on, the alternator will put charge into those two batteries, and those two batteries run the house 12 volt. You've got controls for the Truma hot water here. Now this blue switch here, this Truma boiler has also an electrical element fitted, a bit like a kettle. So when you're on hookup, or when the solar is really good, you can turn that on to charge the water, to heat the water from the big solar panel on the roof. I'll explain a bit more when we go outside to have a look at that. The same can be said of the fridge as well. The fridge can work off grid if the solar is good. Otherwise, you'll run it on gas as per usual. These cupboards here are pretty good. It's quite cavernous there for pots and pans and things. You got a knife and fork drawer there. You got the bin here behind the door. You got your gas cut off there. One for the fridge and one for the cooker. The gas cook-off for the boiler is in the actual locker. You've got another big cupboard here.